to shave it constantly, I wouldn't have it. Like, hair is really gross.
And get laser like your mom.
Doesn't she have to do it like all the time?
The whole point of laser is that you do it a bunch, like a lot of times, and then you don't do it ever again. Never again. The people fishing. The people.
I don't want to acne. You gotta take the rep when your skin looks good, dude. I'm getting the water hot. Let's go.
Wait, I haven't even put sunscreen on yet. Too busy sweating.
Yeah, turn off the lights. Magical.
Ready, set, go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jenny. Happy birthday to you.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'll start crying.
The boys are so good, and they bring such joy to me. Pretty much anything that Louis Zong has turned into an animatic for them, it's incredible. Like Griffin's whole little ice cream song thing, where he challenges Justin to make up a song, and he goes, pistachio is good, but not as good as brown. Brown? That classic ice cream flavor, brown? is one platform that you need to build any kind of website you want, whether it's a portfolio, a simple landing page, an online store, what have you. They've got loads of templates to choose from that are all customizable in any kind of which way you like, and code. They have loads of powerful e-commerce tools you can use to run your online shop, such as analytics and all those good things. They're also connected directly to ShipStation, which makes it very easy to fill out orders. Thank goodness for that. So if you've been looking to make a website, open up an online store, anything like that, you can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready, she said it was like a mother and a daughter, and you were both just terribly sad. And so, that's why they were just like, my mother would feel them like hovering behind her while she was like turning down the bed or whatever. And then Marlene actually went to one of the barns on the property. She went into one of the barns and she went up into one of the lofts. And she said that she felt like she was going to get thrown off because there was like the spirit of like a very large.
That's even better. I don't understand what you're talking about.
What's up?
Old stuff. I'm gonna steal it. It's probably glued down.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. And happy birthday to you. Dude, there you go.
Right by the front door where you walk.
My favorite. Vanilla ice cream. Very nice.
How is
It's
it?
a cold spoon.
Okay, Sammy, how is it?
It's good.
It's good? Yum.
I'll go
Good morning. It's illegal. Coffee in the morning.
my name's Allie. I'm an artist and I'm Native American, specifically Hopi, and I think now is a great time for me to start making YouTube videos and me doing my art because it's spring break and I have nothing better to do, and I'm actually locked out of everything, so I have nothing else to do. I've been painting ever since I was a kid. I'm an art instructor, and I've done quite a few pieces for Native movements, so hopefully this won't be as boring, but I'm going to go ahead and give you an update on other things other than just showing you. So we got her. I was in the studio the other day and I just was like, I want to start this. And so I did, and I literally did the face and the hair and everything, and then actually had my family send me in pictures of their jewelry so I could do her earrings. And then my grandfather's also a jeweler, so he sent me these two pictures of pieces that he's done. But yeah, I kind of just went with my gut. I don't know where I'm going now, so wish me luck. I really don't. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it looks cool, I think. I don't know, let's post this on Instagram and see what other people think, and then we'll go from there. Before I start setting up for my afternoon class, on Sundays I'm probably here a majority of the day, so I just bring random stuff with me to do, whether that be my homework or something that I'm working on. Rarely is it something that I'm working on because I never do anything other than school these days, but I just basically finished this. I was stuck on what to do for the background, and since I have a 3-hour class today, which is usually the more detailed ones, I was like, F it, I can just do a background since I'm going to be doing hard art later today anyways, which I don't know how to do. My job entails that I replicate paintings and teach people how to do them, and I've never done them before. So anyways, I did this one. I didn't really know what to do for the background for a while. I just painted it like a solid reddish color, the one that you see on the horizon line, and because I'm doing a harder class today, I decided to just, you know, F it. I'm gonna do a more detailed background. It's obviously not the most detailed background. I'm not very good at backgrounds. That's why usually most of my art is literally just a single, like, person, and the background is very plain or looks very bland. So I'm here by myself. I had class this morning, cleaned everything up. There was people who had a class out there, and then I finished, and then I just started on this. So here I am with a mostly finished painting. I'll probably take it home and then, you know, realize that I maybe missed something or I can add a little bit more detail. I'm hungry, so I'm not gonna mess around with it anymore. You know, it's a piece that I think would fit a job that's coming up soon, but I wanted this one for me because every work that I do that gains momentum is usually somebody else's. You know, it's a commission, so it doesn't belong to me. It usually belongs to somebody else. And then I have people who want copies, prints, anything like that. And obviously it's just, I saw a call for vaccination art, and I got this idea. Obviously it's not a very, you know, original idea. I've seen a couple of these like, since I've seen the call for art, I've seen probably 3 of the same, idea, same concept. I did actually mirror the girl, so she's looking in the opposite direction of the original We Can Do It girl. Not because I wanted it to be different, but because I genuinely can't draw. I always draw people on the right side of my canvas. I don't know why. Smart artists are usually background first and then women second, but the inspiration came for the women first, and I was gonna wing it for the background, and I did. So now that I have a background, it's basically complete, and I can ask my grandpa, because my grandpa is an artist who also does paintings. I've never done a painting and published it or put it on the internet, as a piece and photographed. I'd have to ask him how to do that, and then I can sell prints, maybe, do all those things. It's gonna be hard for me because it's not digital, so I don't know how to convert it to CMYK for print, 300 DPI for print. It's gonna be weird, and I don't know how to do it. I'm just gonna do it like I do everything. And now I must get ready for my class. I must sit up, but it is literally it's 3 people, so there isn't much to do. I'm by myself, waiting for my food and my boyfriend to show up so that I can eat my yummy food, so I don't have the shakes when I'm trying to paint, even though it's a landscape, and landscapes are very forgiving, even though I can't do backgrounds. I just don't know how to tie the foreground into the background. I've never studied art, though I am an art teacher, so I'm just doing how I do, creating my own process. I mostly replicate other people's art, so there's no need for creativity. It's just do. So I don't know what else I'm talking about. I really need to clean up my crap so I will have time to eat after I finish my class, but I just wanted to give you an update. Also, I'm probably going to publish this video for once because my school is closed for the foreseeable future because their system got hacked, and now I don't go back to school until the end of the month when I was supposed to go back tomorrow. I haven't done any of the work that is due at the beginning of school because I've been busy finishing this guy and a commission for one of my friends, and I was like, during the beginning of the week, they're like, the system's down, can't do anything. So I didn't do anything. System's still down, can't do anything, and as of right now, I'm just going to scramble to get everything finished, and I'm praying to God that they don't, oh my God, it's fixed, everything's due all of a sudden, because I should be doing my work, but I'm not, because I have more important things to do. Also got my vaccination, experienced random symptoms, and they only lasted for an hour or 2, and then they went away, and the back pain that I had from it actually sucked immensely. That mixed with the stress of people not doing their job and me having to cover for them. Don't we all love doing that? If you are the person that constantly shows up late for work and you put all of the stress on your coworkers, I hate you. Please never interact with me ever, because I will punch you in the face because you suck. And I am truly angry at people like that. Anyways, going to do my work. I have to clock in. Bye.
You come back for one of the 3.
No, I'm sorry, I have a ton of napkins here, but they give you trays here.
Yeah, this is nice.
It's like a biodegradable tray, and it made it so much easier for me to carry this stuff over.
Then you have to eat it on the trash can.
Right? We have a table, we're underneath an umbrella. DCA doing it right. Jen got the orange chicken. I got the citrus rind pork.
Looks good.
And then I got a macaron, which is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. I got 2 waters.
So I realized that I never actually gave any update whatsoever. And everything kind of just, ends. So there's a lot of footage in this, and it literally is just an entire year of my life since I got this camera, and it's just been on this camera for forever. So obviously it was my mom's birthday, so I was in Hawaii, and then it was my mom's birthday, so I went and I visited her, and then I went home, and nothing really happened for the rest of the fall other than starting my job. And then I got a notification from the community college here in Arizona that if I don't take a math class or an English class, then they will throw away my testing scores. So, I didn't want that to happen because I did eventually plan on going to a school. So, I just kind of hopped on and decided to take a couple of classes, and then a couple of classes turned into, going to school full time. So the scramble to get everything done during spring break was, big. And I find myself stressing out now because, I kind of put a lot on my plate, but I'm young, so I think I can handle it. The world's not going to end. What's not included in any of the footage is I had a meeting with a Native organization, and they asked me to do an illustration for an event that they're hosting coming up, and I'm not really comfortable with sharing things before, they come out. They didn't really tell me to, hush hush on it, and nothing in my contract says that I can't talk about it. I just, things fall through sometimes, and if I have the footage to remind me that, if this doesn't work out, then I don't think that would be very nice, and, that's just not how I do things, and not, so I do have footage of me actually working on this project. My due date is actually tomorrow. It's Monday night, and then tomorrow's Tuesday, which is when the board gets together, so they're gonna take my draft to the board and get everything situated, but that's not in here because it's not, I just didn't know if it was gonna go through, or I just had a Zoom meeting with one person, and it is what it is. So I just made sure that I wasn't recording what I didn't need to be recording, and so you're probably watching me do my tribal presentation. In one of my classes, I'm taking American Indian History. The final is a presentation that you do on one tribe, and I would like to think I'm top of my class. Not to, rub my own ego or anything, but I literally turn in everything before. I'm like the first person to post in the discussion board sometimes, and so I was the first person to pick which tribe I wanted, and I obviously went with Hopi because I don't like to do anything the hard way. Just kidding, no. I'm not really up for a challenge, and I thought, now's my chance to kind of learn more, and create this public, I come from a very hush-hush tribe in Arizona, so we don't really talk much to outsiders about what we do. But, I found this as a chance to, learn what is out there on the internet, and then that would be okay for, obviously I have, a general moral inside, conscious telling me what is okay and what is not okay to include. And I have mostly conducted all of my research with Hopi sources. White research is upheld by these white institutions, so there are going to be quite a few people in my class who are going to have to rely on those white scholars to, do their research. And that's going to be their sources. But, I took it upon myself to, look through the internet for, these sources and these elders who shared our history with the Smithsonian and with other museums, and the internet is an amazing place. So most of my information is sourced from lectures done by Hopi people, and Hopi people know what they can and can't share. They know, I'm sure more than half of them have taken these things to their elders and asked, is this okay to share? And I can base my research off of that. My sources include Rick Baker, who was actually my PE coach. He is the PE coach and the boys cross country coach up on the reservation at Hopi Junior Senior High School. He works alongside my uncle, Jawan, and it's just so interesting who you find can be sources for research projects. If somebody were to tell me, this isn't real research, this is just Native people talking, it's not right, it's not true. I do believe in my heart that, Rick Baker and Edward Caboti are not necessarily like, the best sources. The best sources are always going to be, elders in our community, the people who know more. And my grandmother did give me a couple of people's phone numbers, but she prefaced it with the idea that these people are kind of sick and they're old, and you gotta call them at the right time. So I kind of just, maybe at a later date, I will reach out to them for further information, so I can even create a more broader research on my people, because I do think it's a very interesting thing, to share our history, not necessarily share our culture, but share our history and what we have been through, because, I come from a very small tribe of about 19,000 enrolled members, and I say enrolled members because with blood quantum and everything that the government uses to inflict genocide on our people to this day, it excludes a lot of people. So, I'm happy to say that most of my research, other than a couple of, I think, articles where, I had to pick dates and photos and, things like that. Other than that, most of my, research is done. There's a man, his name is, oh my god, what is his name? I think his name is Matthew Sikaya Gilbert. And, he's a historian. He worked at the University of Illinois, and then he is now working at the University of Arizona. And he basically saved my butt. I was struggling. I had, you may see on the screen, there are these videos that the Smithsonian actually did. They did like a lecture series on Hopi, and a couple of people from Hopi actually, talked about, Ed Caboti did the alternative United States history, or an alternative history to the United States. Mr. Gilbert's a historian, and he actually did a lecture on Louis Dawanima and Hopi running, and that was also very, very helpful. It's such a small world, 19,000, kind of small world, because searching through his blog for more information and, a little bit more, just to see if I can find a couple more lectures. He posted a picture of his office, and above his desk is my grandfather's painting of the village of Walpi, and, I was like, oh my god, the world is so small. The Hopi world is very small. Ed Caboti is a musician and artist, and, comes from a very influential family from Sangolpavi, and, as a kid, I would go to the Hopi show at the Northern Arizona Museum. I think that's what it's called, Museum of Northern Arizona, in Flagstaff, and they have a Hopi show around 4th of July weekend every summer, obviously except for this past summer. And he's always there every single year doing his thing, playing his guitar. And I was telling my grandma, it's so hilarious to think when I was a kid, I remember watching Ed just walk around You know, he's a very groovy man, like bobbing his head, just doing his own thing. And like I always thought he was like a weirdo, like a weird, like, you know, like, oh, that's Ed, you know, he's just a little weirdo, you know. And now I'm using him for academic research, and I think that is very hilarious because, you know, I think the last time I seen him was when I was like maybe 13. You know, it's been a while since I've been to the Hopi show. But yeah, that is what you see me doing in these clips, and I'm very proud of myself for, you know, using non-white resources for this presentation. Other than that, I will include a clip of me working on stickers for my friend Jack. Jack, I've been best friends with his brother Nate since we were like 11 or 12 years old, and they have a band, and I do art for them every once in a while, you know, if they ever... my friend Nate is fluent in the graphic design department, so, you know, they're covered in that sense, but, you know, if they need actual art or illustrations or, you know, portraits of themselves, you know, I'm the go-to gal for that one. I also did attend a seminar, I think. I don't know. I just, you know, it came up. A Hopi History Project seminar, and I found it incredibly interesting. You know, it wasn't necessarily what I thought it was going to be, but, you know, I watched it, and I sat through it, and I was doing some of my schoolwork, so I think I was also working on this project that I have coming up that I was talking about as well. And I just think it's so important, you know, to teach history, no matter how traumatic and no matter how sad it is to, you know, the people. Because, you know, I personally hold history as, like, high, you know, it's up there for me because, you know, history shouldn't repeat itself, you know. Hopefully, you know, now with, you know, cameras and social media and, you know, the internet, it, you know, history should be recorded a little bit easier, so, you know, these things don't, you know, happen again. But, you know, one day, you know, just because this is the way the government is, you know, there will be no more Hopis, you know, unless they change, you know, the blood quantum thing. But just the way that Hopi society is set up, it's kind of, you know, hard to carry on these things when, as people, you know, in, like, interracial marriages, you know, all those kinds of things, you know, it's going to be harder to uphold these things, and, you know, that's a conversation that needs to be held in these spaces, and that's kind of what they're doing, you know, they're trying to teach young children, you know, the traumas of our people, you know, and integrate healing. Oh my God. And integrate healing into their curriculum, you know, so that, you know, a generation of young Hopi people won't have to, you know, feel ashamed of their past, or, you know, there's a couple of things that need to be talked about. You know, you can't just you know, sweep it under a rug and expect you know, change to happen, or expect the same thing not to happen again, especially if you don't know it. I don't think I've recorded anything thus far. It's Monday night. I think we literally have like 20 minutes left in Monday night. March 30th. So, I've been talking for a very long time. School's great, you know. I started a law class, and I'm kind of like shaking in my boots because I don't know what that entails. And I hope it's not too hard because I have, you know, I've quit my job, or put in my 2 weeks, I guess. So I'm not going to be teaching for much longer. And then after that, I'm gonna just, you know, focus on school, focus on moving. Moving has been a very scary thing for me because I've never lived anywhere outside of Arizona, so moving to a new place is gonna be different. I hope it's not terrible, but, you know, I'm gonna spend the summer with my family before I move far away. But I hope you enjoy, and obviously, like, my life isn't glamorous whatsoever. I watch a lot of art vlogs, and they make their lives seem like so chill, and they never experience stress, or they take everything day by day, and I'm sure that's part of what it is, but I personally just have a lot going on, not emotionally, like literally. My cat is experiencing what we call crackhead hours. I'm gonna miss teaching a lot. It's so much fun watching people, realize that they either A, can't paint, or B, they're not too bad at painting. I love art. It helps me express myself in the deepest way. When I was younger, I used to express myself with how I dressed, and I used to do these weird things. Like, I used to, like, chain a bunch of lanyards to one loop, so I had, like, 5 lanyards on one loop, and I would change it to my belt loop, and I called it fashion. And when people would, I guess, copy me, it would make me angry, and I would be like, oh, like, they're copying me, and my family would be like, it's just flattery, you should be flattered, but I felt like somebody was trying to steal my identity, and I know that sounds crazy, but now it's like I can express myself through my art, express how I feel, and the things I hold important. So yeah, I enjoy talking. Maybe I should start my own podcast, but to be honest, I'm probably just speaking into the void. Nobody's listening to me. I'm not expecting people to listen to me. But if you do, I appreciate it. I don't have many friends. If you didn't notice, I'm very busy and doing my own thing. And also there's a pandemic, so I don't feel like, forcing myself to have friends. During a time like this, when I can't hang out with them. But anyways, I hope you, thought this was somewhat interesting. I am a modern native person, and, we don't really share our lives because, they're so dramatic, and they're so full of hurt, and, I'm moving on from that now. I've hurt for most of my life in many ways, and now I feel like now is my time. I'm young, I guess. I feel like I'm 40, but I'm young, so I should be experiencing life, or something like that. I'm not quite sure what people mean. But thank you for listening. I am known notoriously for talking forever and never stopping, so I shall let you go, and hopefully you don't think I'm a complete a-hole, or a poo-poo head, or something. Thank you. Bye.